Hello, it is Sunday morning, and when I say morning, I mean 3:30 p.m. because I'm all screwed up from daylight savings time. But either way, I've just had my coffee and we're going to be making waffles. These are, no exaggeration, the best waffles you can make at home. I'm so serious. There is a little extra step that needs to happen. We did prep the sponge for the waffles the night before, but that takes like no time. It was quick and easy. I'll show you just how quick and easy it was right now. We basically just combined the following ingredients. First, 2 cups of buttermilk. I never said these waffles would be healthy. Then, 1 cup of unfed sourdough starter. We have had our sourdough starter going since the early days of the pandemic in 2020. His name is Arthur Morgan, and you need not be intimidated by him. I'm happy to answer any sourdough starter questions in the comments. Next, 2 cups of good old all-purpose flour, and 2 tablespoons of sugar. All we need to do now is whisk to combine, and I would recommend a strong forearm and a sturdy whisk for this step. A minor setback, but I was undeterred. Finally, just scrape down the sides of your bowl, and that's it. That's your sponge. It will get bigger overnight, so make sure your bowl is big enough. Cover and let it sit for roughly 12 hours at room temperature. And now the waffles that we're going to have this morning are going to be extra fluffy, extra delicious. The texture, the best waffles that you can make at home. And if prepping something the night before feels like a daunting ask, it's really not that hard in terms of labor. It's more just that you need to have the foresight to know that you're going to want waffles in the morning. Let's get right into it. I'm hungry. I'm ready to accidentally eat breakfast for dinner, which is also gonna accidentally be my first meal of the day. Making our batter is actually going to take no time at all. First, we need to add 1/4 cup vegetable oil to 2 eggs and whisk to combine. Grab our overnight sponge, it's time for the big reveal, and then pour the eggy oil mixture into it. Stir to combine, and while I'm doing this, I preheated the oven to a low temperature to keep the waffles warm as I make them. Once the wet ingredients are well combined, add in 3/4 teaspoon salt and 1 teaspoon baking soda. Stir to combine, and the mixture will start to expand and bubble up a bit, which I find to be extremely satisfying. Waffle batter. Maybe this is obvious, but you will need a waffle maker in order to make these waffles. But if you have a waffle maker in a dream, then you can do it. And here is the aforementioned waffle maker. She's all hot and ready to go. Look at how bubbly and frothy this batter is. It's bubbling up even as I scoop it, and that light, frothy texture is going to translate into light and fluffy waffles. Okay, so little hiccup here. My fiance deep cleaned our waffle maker before we started.
That's not so bad.
And we think that may have increased stickage, but we kept at it with high hopes that round 2 would be different. But unfortunately, no. These ones stuck too. However, spirits remained high.
Okay.
Look at how puffy and fluffed up they are, though.
There we go. There we go.
And in the grand scheme of things, do these waffles even look that bad? I would argue that they don't. We did grease the waffle maker a bit before round 3. That's all the batter. This has to work.
Batter up.
Where would you see that? And in the end, we were triumphant. If at first your waffles stick, try, and try again. Look at these beauties. All that's left to do is dress these up with a little butter, some fruit, and this fancy strawberry syrup we bought at a French cheese store here in Brooklyn. Oh, and coconut whipped cream, because the themes here are triumph and decadence. Delicious.